Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning Night Live. Yes, I'm starting a little late today. Just there's a purpose behind that. Well, a reason, I should say. I don't know if it's a purpose, but had to take care of some things this morning that Lady Boomer was upset with me about. Thus, a little sip of coffee. Had to take care of it, and we're here now. So, why don't I just play the intro and we'll get started. Here we go. Bang! Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. Stop the music. How you doing? It is January 30th, 2020 on the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. Hello. Let's get a little ambiance going here. Click. We'll see how that goes. If it stays, I'll turn it down just a little bit. A little background music for the day. How are we doing? Well, so yesterday, I'm just gonna get right into it because I'm running late. Let's talk a little bit about some things that happened yesterday. Apparently, I'm not sure which committee this was, but there was a hearing that had nothing to do with impeachment. Now, I don't know if this was yesterday or what, but I noticed that Jim Jordan, who's a congressperson from Ohio, posted this yesterday, and I'm not sure. I think this hearing was yesterday. I'm not 100% sure, but that's where it showed up, and I want to take a look at it. But before I do, let me give a couple thank yous. Thank you, Tyler F., Necrosol Collins, and Twerkin Bear for tweeting out the show, hitting the retweet on the tweet thing there. And Necrosol actually put one out before I did. That's fantastic. Thank you, sir. If you want to share the show, that'd be great. Hit the share arrow down below. Hit share, a couple clicks. You can put it on whatever social media you want. And then also, if you like what we do, I'll remind you later. But that thumbs up is for like, and the thumbs down is for Duck Dog. And the Streamlabs links is in the description down below. It'll pop up in the chat every once in a while. So anyway, so apparently, impeachment was not the only hearing going on yesterday. Because, like I said, Jim Jordan put out a... he posted on... YouTube, this hearing, and I want to just watch it because I just want to see what's going on. But the other thing I got to do quick is say good morning to the people in the chat. Good morning, Krill and Pirate Pete, who was first, and good morning, Richo, Advocatus Diaboli, Della Hayes, Necrosaw Collins, Sheagrath, Richo, I said, and Truck and Bear, Galactic North, and Maniac Man, good morning. This is one of those days where I think Monkey in the Morning is going right now because I know he started about 8, so a lot of people do double duty on those two, but that's okay. Let's check out. I want to show you this clip here of Jim Jordan apparently interviewing Michael Horowitz. Now, this is about the... What do you mean, first? Welcome to the gayest person on YouTube. You're not first, but, you're close. And then also, good morning, Green Thunder Mighty. So Jim Jordan is at this hearing, and he's talking to Michael Horowitz. Now, Michael Horowitz is the Inspector General of the Intelligence Community. Had a report out recently, and the Senate got a chance to talk to Michael Horowitz, but apparently this House committee did not. Now, with all the stuff going on in the Senate, you kind of forget what's going on in the House, and it's interesting because the timing and the waiting and whatnot on the actual impeachment trials clearly has worked out as far as overshadowing this particular hearing. So let's check it out. We're gonna just listen to Jim Jordan question Michael Horowitz. There's a couple little bits in here where I will stop and make my own commentary, because there's a couple interesting things and answers in this particular clip. So here we go. Let me oh, you know what I need to do? Let me just get rid of this music for a second. We'll pause that, and then we're gonna go back to Jim Jordan. And here we go. Here, let's take a listen to Jim Jordan questioning Inspector General Horowitz on the FISA abuse. Now, this is about the FISA abuse, okay? Here we go. Oh, I identify as first. Oh, I get it. Yes. Okay, good for you. All right, moving on. Here we go. Listen to this.
I thank the chairman. Mr. Horowitz, was Carter Page an operational contact for another federal agency?
He was.
First question. Was Carter Page an operational contact for another agency? Now, we know, if you've been paying attention, that yes, Carter Page, when they were trying to get these FISA warrants, was an operational agent for the CIA. So listen to the question. Listen to the rest of this.
Did the Department of Justice tell that? Did the Department of Justice and the FBI tell that to the FISA court when they went to get the FISA application on Mr. Page?
They did not.
They did not. Did an FBI lawyer doctor an email that was part of the FISA application to get this warrant on Carter Page?
Doctored an email that went to the affiant who swore out the FISA application.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, the lawyer changed some information that went to the person who was going to forward this on to the FISA court. So, perjury.
The email itself wasn't part of the application.
Understand, but and the way it was doctored was not just doctored. They directly changed. It said it went from Carter Page was a source to Carter Page was not a source. Is that right?
Correct.
Directly the opposite meaning. And that became part of the basis to go to the court and get the warrant on Carter Page.
That was relied upon by the FBI agent who swore out the...
Now, I've seen...
Now, I'm just going to tell you now, as you're listening to this, remind yourself that Michael Horowitz is part of the FBI. He's the Inspector General, covering the FBI. And so he is going to be very, very deferential to the agency that he works for. So just keep that in mind. But we'll talk a little bit about this. I'm just saying.
Correspondence between Christopher Steele, the guy who wrote the dossier that was taken to the court, correspondence between him and the Department of Justice, where he indicated to them that, to the Department of Justice, that he was desperate to stop Trump from becoming president. Did that get communicated to the FISA court when they were getting the warrant to spy on Carter Page?
It did not. He relayed that to Bruce Orr, who relayed it to the FBI.
Yep.
So if you didn't catch that, he asked if Christopher Steele told somebody that he was desperate that Donald Trump does not become president. They knew that. It was told to one agent who told the rest, and that was not represented when they went to the FISA court with the Steele dossier.
I also know that the Clinton campaign paid the law firm Perkins Coie, who hired Fusion GPS, who hired Mr. Steele, who actually put together the dossier, as we just said. Did the fact that the Clinton campaign was paying for this operation, this dossier, did that get communicated to the FISA court?
That information did not.
Did not get communicated to the FISA court. How many false or misleading communications were made to the FISA court relative to the Carter Page?
We identified 17 significant omissions or inaccuracies in the report. That's not all of them. That's the.
What was his words there? What did he say? We identified
17 significant omissions or inaccuracies in the report. That's not
significant omissions or inaccuracies. There's another name for that. Lies.
Not all of them. That's the 17 we thought were the most material and
Wait a minute. Those are the 17 we thought were material. Now, listen closely as this goes on.
More than 17 times they misled the court.
Hang on.
17 times they misled the court.
We were the most material and
so more than 17 times they misled the court.
We identified a bunch of instances of inaccuracies, I think.
Oh, inaccuracies. Oh, inaccuracies. That's an interesting word for it. Lies.
I think I'd leave it to others to decide and the court to decide what was misleading or not.
Well, the court has decided. The court has said that these at least two of the applications were bogus, and they're still deciding on the other two. But you'll get to that. We'll get to that.
To the court.
Oh, by the way, yes, Girl and Pirate Pete. Good morning. Yes, 17 items of perjury. But wait, there's more.
January 29, 2018, 2 years ago, Chairman of the House Intel Committee, Chairman Schiff said that the FBI and DOJ officials did not abuse the FISA process. Is that an accurate statement, Mr. Horowitz?
Well, the department has submitted a letter to the court now that has been made public where the department has determined that the last two FISAs at a minimum did not have and did not support probable cause.
Okay. Let me go. I want to hear this question again because I think he mentioned some name in this question. And I just want to double check. What was the name that Jim Jordan mentioned? Hello.
To the court.
January 29, 2018, 2 years ago, Chairman of the House Intel Committee, Chairman Schiff said...
Chairman Schiff. Chairman, I know that name. I recognize that name. Now, if I were playing, if I was on the show Jeopardy, I might not. But I personally, I know that name, Schiff. 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 I'm very familiar with that. Okay.
That the FBI and DOJ officials did not abuse the FISA process. Is that an accurate statement, Mr. Horowitz?
Now, he fumbles here. Clearly, he's got to be kind of diplomatic towards his agency. So here's his answer again.
Well, the department has submitted a letter to the court now that has been made public where the department has determined that the last two FISAs at a minimum did not have and did not support.
So in other words, it was not accurate.
Mr. Schiff also said on January 29, 2018 that the DOJ and FBI, quote, made only narrow use of information from Christopher Steele's sources about Carter Page's specific activities in 2016. Is that accurate?
I don't know the specific wording of what was said there, but as we reported, we found that the dossier, that the Steele reporting was central and essential to the application.
Central and essential.
For the initial FISA and to the subsequent FISA.
I think you said on December 11th in front of the Senate that FBI's FISA applications relied entirely on Steele's and his primary subsource reporting to make allegations against Mr. Page.
Just to add, it was, to be precise, for the purpose of connecting Carter Page's alleged activities to Russia, to the Trump campaign. There was other information in there concerning Mr. Page not connected to the Trump campaign.
Did the FBI corroborate the allegations against Mr. Page?
Now, this is kind of a weasel answer. I'm just saying. Hello, Jeremy Johnson. How you doing? This answer kind of annoys me, but I get it. He's got to be somewhat deferential to the agency that he works for, but this is a terrible answer.
Did the FBI corroborate the allegations against Mr. Page?
The allegations in the FISA about his purported serving as an intermediary between Russia and the Trump campaign, they did not substantiate.
So again, 2 years ago on January 29, 2018, when Adam Schiff said the Department of Justice provided additional information obtained through multiple independent sources that corroborated Steele's reporting, that would be an act.
Now, the multiple independent sources were the sources that Christopher Steele leaked information to before this dossier became public, so that when they got the dossier, they could go to those sources, Yahoo News, or Michael Isikoff and whatever. So he leaked it and then put it out and then said, oh, look, corroborating leaks in the media. Let's hear the answer.
Accurate as well.
As we noted in the report, they provided some information, mostly from public sourcing, that they
public sourcing. Oh yeah, where they leaked it.
Found corroborated the reporting. What they did not find was corroboration for the allegations linking Mr. Page to Russia, to the Trump campaign.
Finally, let me ask this. Also 2 years ago, Mr. Schiff said on the Department of Justice met the rigor, transparency, and evidentiary basis needed to meet FISA's probable cause requirement. Is that an accurate statement?
Given the...
Just say no. Seriously, just say no. No, they know that's not an accurate statement because the court has already decided, somebody's already decided that 2 of the FISA warrant applications did not meet the standard. Did not meet the standard. But he just can't say no, can he? He kind of does. Here we go.
The nature and the number of omissions and inaccuracies in there, we certainly didn't characterize what they had done as following the rules or complying with the rigor that's required of a FISA application.
Yeah, no, just no. That's all you got to say. No. No, it's not. It didn't work.
Not only didn't characterize it in the way Mr. Schiff portrayed it 2 years ago, and stated in his memo, you said this, the IG report found 51 factual assertions in Carter Page's FISA applications that, quote, had no supporting documentation, supporting document doesn't state fact, or supporting document shows factual assertion is inaccurate. Is that
51 factual assertions? Oh, so they only mentioned the 17 they thought were important, but there were 51 factual... What did he say? Factual something. Assertions that were, well, lies or just wrong, that they didn't corroborate before they went and used the dossier for a FISA warrant to spy on an American citizen. Huh.
Is that right?
And that's my reference before to at least 17. There were many others that we have in our appendix that are supposed to be followed through the Woods procedures, 17. Which is the factual adequacy review. That were not there. Some are significant, some are not so as significant, but there shouldn't be any.
One last question. Are there any other reports coming? What are you working on right now in this area?
Yeah,
in this
so
area?
We are doing a follow-up audit because one of the questions we had coming away from this was, did this happen only in...
Okay, I'm not really sure.
Yeah. So we are doing a follow-up audit because one of the questions we had coming away from this was, did this happen only in this case?
Yep.
Or does the failures we heard about in the Woods procedures and that we saw in the Woods procedures infect other counterintelligence FISAs and something we hadn't looked at, counterterrorism-related FISAs? And so
can you give us a little preview of what you may...
Okay, so now they're going to go back and look at other cases, and like, because it came up in the hearing in the Senate or I can't remember which hearing it was, but they were saying, well, this could be just a problem with all the FISA warrants. Maybe there's always there's problems where they give you bullshit information, and it's happening. If it's happening in other cases, then this is just the standard problem with the FISA warrant process. Oh, bullshit. Yeah, let's see. Is there any more here?
Be finding and when that report may be...
Thank you, Mr. Horowitz.
Oh, let's cut him off. Yes, let's cut him off before he can finish what they were talking about. All right. So anyway, didn't hear much about Didn't hear much about that hearing. In fact, I'm not even finding it in the news. So I'm not 100% sure that is from yesterday. But it seems to have been. Now, when I was looking through my aggregators, I didn't find it there. But there, you know, who knows? But that, you know, that's some pretty important information. 51 factual errors in the report they used to get a FISA warrant. I just can't believe it. How could that happen? How can that happen? It's just, oh, you know, they just, the senator, when Horowitz was in front of the Senate, making it sound like, oh, that's just things that happen with these, and maybe we should be looking at the process. Nah, I think they know what they were doing. I just do. So, anyway, let's move on. Let's get caught up on the, caught up on the topic of the day, impeachment. Okay, so yesterday, they were having the question and answer period all day. I listened to a lot of it just while I was driving and roaming around the Twin Cities yesterday doing what I do. And, you know, as I watched the reactions on Twitter. Now, here's the thing. It's interesting because the president's team makes a lot of interesting arguments as far as actual legal theory and just, you know, just they tend to work on facts, and certain things that are facts sometimes get a little bit twisted by the House managers. Now, the House managers are very, very emotional. Hello, Chi-Town Jay. Have very kind of emotional arguments and try to use language that this charged language of, you know, the president was trying to solicit foreign interference to help him win to foreign interference in an election. And there was this one point where they were talking about information, because there was a point at one time that the president was asked in an interview that if, say, the Russians or another foreign country came to them with information that could be detrimental to their opponent, would you use it? And now the Supreme Court has already ruled on what constitutes a campaign finance violation. Okay. And now Trump said, well, it just depends on what it was. If it was something that was illegal, he would go to the FBI. If it was just information that's clearly something true that's useful, yeah, why not? Because it's just information. Information has, and the Supreme Court's already ruled this, that information is not something that is of value. It's not like foreign contributions of money or things like that. They've already ruled on this. Now, so the president's team, when asked that, I can't remember which lawyer did it, but they were talking about how, well, yes, because the information is not it's not part of a campaign finance violation. And so then I think Adam Schiff comes answering another question and says, I cannot believe that these lawyers just said that they would solicit information from foreign enemies and blah, blah, blah to interfere in an election. That's not what he said. Not at all. He said that information does not constitute a campaign finance violation. And if it were illegal to get information from a foreign entity, then what the F did Hillary Clinton do in the last election? She got information not only from a foreign spy, a foreign spy, now albeit he was a foreign spy from one of our great allies, but he also got information from a foreign spy who got the information from the Russians. In fact, they paid for it and put it in a dossier, even though it was all bullshit, put it in a dossier and sold it to the American people as some salacious, although unverified, aka known or per James Comey. So it was foreign information. So why is that not a campaign violation? It's just it's the good for us, but nay for you. If we do it, it's information. If you do it, it's foreign interference in an election. It's amazing. Anyway. So, good morning, Lindsay. Good morning, Riku. So here, we'll do a couple quick article here. CNS News, Trump defiant, Republicans are winning, Americans tired of radical rage-filled socialists. Hey, Mike Savage, how you doing? Chance of 4 more years. Oh, this is from the Wildwood, New Jersey rally. Chance of 4 more years rang out in Wildwood, New Jersey, Tuesday night as President Donald Trump enumerated his accomplishments, praised former Democratic congressman for turning Republican, thanked the respected Republican Party, and blasted the radical rage-filled leftist socialist. Oh, Riku, there is Jussie Smollett news today. I believe it's the 1-year anniversary of the Jussie Smollett incident. No, I might get to that. That's one of my favorite stories, by the way. The president, apparently unfazed by the impeachment proceedings back in Washington, told the cheering crowd that not only is the Republican Party winning like never before, but so are Americans. While we are creating jobs and killing terrorists, the congressional Democrats are obsessed with demented hoaxes, crazy witch hunts, and deranged partisan crusades. That's all they know how to do. The do-nothing Democrats, they have spent the last 3 years, and probably even before I came down on that beautiful escalator with our beautiful First Lady, trying to overthrow the last election, and we will make sure they face another crushing defeat in the next election. We are going to have a victory that is greater than 2016. This November, we're going to win back the White House. We're going to hold the Senate, and we're going to keep the White House. Okay, he said that twice. Oh, we're going to win back the House, yes. As chance of 4 more years erupted. The American people are disgusted by the Washington Democrats. You'll see it. You see it? Which is worse, the impeachment hoax or the witch hunts from Russia? But we're going to be signing up millions and millions of registered independents, Democratic voters, and today I had the best polls I've ever had since being elected, the best we've ever had. So Trump is, he's not seemed to be unfazed by all the nonsense. I don't need to go into that one any farther. But also, here's some other good news for the president. Americans more satisfied with the economy, security, race relations after 3 years of Trump. You got the woo-foo? No, I just cough a lot. I don't know what it is. I think it's the dust from where I work, and I just constantly have it. That's why I keep the cup of reparations coffee handy. After 3 years of President Donald Trump, Americans are far more satisfied with the state of the economy, security from terrorism, military strength, and even race relations. That's amazing. According to a new Gallup poll, American satisfaction on 4 key issues has increased by double digits during the first 3 years of the Trump presidency. That's part of why he's being impeached. They're afraid. In January 2017, only 46% said they were satisfied with the U.S. economy, but this month, 68% said so, for an increase of 22 points. 3 years ago, 50% of Americans said they were satisfied with the nation's security from terrorism, while 68% said so this month, an 18-point jump. Similarly, satisfaction with the nation's military strength and preparedness jumped 15 points from 66% to 81%. Even American satisfaction on the state of race relations has increased by 14 points from 22% in January 2017 to 36% this month. It appears fears of Trump's supposed racism have abated as the black unemployment rate fell to record lows. Now, I don't know if that's cause and effect, but I'm certain that more Americans, if you're talking about the economy and how the country is going as far as jobs, etc., I'm sure more Americans definitely are more satisfied than they were even a year ago, but especially since the beginning of the Trump presidency. Satisfaction with other issues has increased. According to Gallup, more Americans are satisfied with the nation's policies to reduce or control crime, up 9%. Now, I don't know why that is. I can't think of anything in particular. The position of blacks and other racial minorities in the nation, up 9%. The way income and wealth are distributed in the U.S., up 8 points. Now, look, first of all, income and wealth, hear me out. Income and wealth is not distributed. Let me repeat that. Income and wealth are not distributed. The government doesn't distribute wealth or income. Okay? People earn income by what they do, by the choices they make. Everything. Now, granted, there are some people who have greater challenges than others. But even then, it's not distributed. Except for, unless you're on government assistance, then that is distributed. But that's not. It's a dumb question if you ask me. Also, the opportunity for a person in this nation to get ahead by working hard, up 6% to 72% believe that you can get ahead by working hard. You know, it's like that makes more sense to me. The idea that there's income mobility in the United States is absolutely true. Okay? Nobody stays in the lot they're in. It's pretty simple. Now that there are lots of jobs and wages are rising, it's just a matter of go to work, show up in time, do your job, and go home. And a lot of times, sometimes the poverty issues often have to do with other choices that you've made. You know, I mean, it's certainly for couples who's basically, I know this sound like Ben Shapiro here, but people who have a significant other get married before and establish themselves in jobs and whatnot before they have kids, pretty much very unlikely you'll ever be in poverty. Okay. Now, are you gonna be a billionaire? No, not necessarily. But you can certainly live a comfortable life. I'm just saying. I've been doing it for however long. We've been married 27 years. 27 years next month. And you know what? We're not in super high paying jobs. We just have always worked, done our best in our jobs, and at the age we're at now, it's like, you know what? Nobody stays in a minimum wage job. Nobody stays in a minimum wage job forever. Okay? Just, you got to start. You got to keep going. Hello. We have our first super chat of the day from Doug McCockiner. Thank you for $5.56. My brother Barry and I support caffeine use. Yes, thank you. You've been a loyal supplier of caffeine almost since the beginning of this show. And I thank you very much, Doug McCockiner and your brother Barry McCockiner. Nice to thank you for the 556. If you'd like to support the show and my coffee habit and do some voluntary reparations, please hit the super chat links down below. Hello, DI Freighter Watcher. How you lurking today? Just popped in to thumbs up and say hello. Well, thank you so much. Lurking is better than not ever being here at all. So I appreciate you for coming in. All right. Thank you, Doug McCockiner. Let's see. Okay. So anyway, so yeah, Americans are happier with the economy, the way it's been going. And that's never good for the challengers to the next presidential election. And so I'm pretty sure this whole impeachment thing, they've been trying to find a way, and they think they've found it. However, oh my gosh. Now, I didn't even notice this one. Y'all are familiar with Mike Bloomberg? This is interesting. Now, Michael Bloomberg, the former mayor of New York, who's been just plastering ads everywhere. He has spent $100 million on ads already. That's crazy. And it's all he's just spending his own money running for the Democratic nomination. Well, apparently his big spending ways is paying off somewhere. Michael Bloomberg leaps to second place in Florida. Yes, Mr. Gay Ice Cream. So it's funny because you bring that up, Lindsay, the Mr. Gay Ice Cream. So he did this little weird commercial for Big Gay Ice Cream, didn't he? It's an actual company, and it's funny because the same day, a hashtag on Twitter was popping up, something about nasty ice cream flavors. Well, this Big Gay Ice Cream company that is an actual company. One of the names of their flavors is called, was it Salty Pimp? Salty Pimp. And I immediately popped into the hashtag nasty ice cream flavors or what it was. Anyway, former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg has jumped to second place in Florida. A St. Pete's poll survey released Wednesday found the survey commissioned by Florida Politics showed Joe Biden leading the field in the Sunshine State with a massive 41% support, a full 24% ahead of his closest competitors. Notably, though, neither Bernie Sanders nor Elizabeth Warren took second place. That went to Bloomberg, who saw 17% support. Vermont Socialist Senator fell 8 points behind with 9% support, followed by Warren, Pete Buttigieg, and Senator Amy Klobuchar with 7%, 6%, and 5% respectively. Andrew Yang and Tom Steyer tied with 2%, and each of the remaining candidates saw 1% support or less. 10% of likely Florida voters. 10% of likely Florida Democratic primary voters remain undecided, according to the survey. The St. Pete poll survey was conducted on January 27th and 28th. 2,590 likely Florida Democratic primary voters. The margin of error is 1.9%. That's a pretty low margin of error, too. So probably because their sample is over almost 3,000. So, yeah, go figure. Bloomberg has spent millions in Florida and campaigned in Tampa over the weekend. Former Miami Mayor Manny Diaz recently joined the Bloomberg campaign as a policy advisor and political co-chair. As Florida Politics points out, Bloomberg has been gathering additional political star power. Interesting. He has been spending money like crazy in politics. In fact, he claims to have helped 22 Democrats get elected in the House in the last election cycle. And I know he had put a ton of money in Virginia, where the entire Virginia legislature turned over to Democrat for the most part. And so it's kind of his fault that they're having the little gun grabber issue down there, the laws they're passing. So yeah, sometimes money will buy you the election. But here's the thing. I don't think that Bloomberg necessarily wants to win the election. I just don't. And if he does, hey, more power to him, at least the Democratic primary. I kind of think is he kind of just trying to help Biden? I don't know what he's doing. But I just he's a danger. I'm telling you, he's the one who really pushes the what's that? Moms demand, the gun control things. I don't know. He used to be a Republican too. That's kind of weird that he's suddenly one of the Democratic, close to being front runners in Florida. But whatever. Let's see what else. Yeah, we already did the big gay ice cream thing. Oh, so what are these the creative headlines? Bloomberg panders, savors big gay ice cream, and cringeworthy PR stunt. Ben and Dover's pralines and penis. Let's talk about nasty ice cream flavors. Anyway, okay, so now here's an editorial. Mike Bloomberg isn't really running for president. Now that's an interesting, I think I just said something like that. Michael Bloomberg isn't really running for president, and that should worry you. There's a very good reason to believe that Michael Bloomberg isn't actually running for president. Of course, there's plenty of evidence to the contrary. For one, he's declared he is. He's hired more than 1,000 staff and still expanding, offering salaries far above campaign averages. This week, he became the first of the declared candidates to have campaigned in all 14 states of March 3rd's Super Tuesday primary battle, and he spent $250 million on political advertising so far. Holy smokes! Okay, I thought it was 100 million, but it's almost 250 million. What? Not $250 million. Yeah, $250 million. $250 million on ads everywhere. He's buying. I mean, did you watch the NFL playoffs? He had ads just every other break in the NFL. Whatever. All would point toward Bloomberg indeed running for president. But here's the snag. He wanted to do all of this anyway, everything that is, but the declaration bit. That is, that he was loath to do. But the staff, the ad spending, the campaigning, he was going to do all that to defeat President Trump already. And we know this because he told us so. As early as February 2019, the billionaire pledged he'd spend at least $500 million to defeat the president as either a candidate or, as what Politico called, a shadow political party for the Democratic nominee. That massive spend, the report continued, represents just 1% of Bloomberg's estimated net worth. Yes, Bloomberg is worth approximately between 11 and $20 billion. I think he's the fifth or sixth wealthiest person in the United States. Just a month later, the wealthy New Yorker laughed at the idea he would ever run for president, mocking Amtrak Joe Biden for apologizing for being male, over 50 and white, and Beto O'Rourke, who Bloomberg joked had apologized for being born. Well, a few months later, he jumped in anyway, but does the world-renowned winner have any intention of actually winning the nomination? We might all agree it's strange to hear the hyper-competitive Bloomberg declare he will pay his sizable staff to work on behalf of the people who are supposed to be his primary opponents. His army of some 500 staffers will march on through the general election in November, even if he loses the Democratic nomination, campaign officials told NBC News back when he employed a measly 500 staffers. Of course, Bloomberg has said the same of the now $2 billion he's reportedly willing to spend for any campaign to defeat Trump. This magnanimity in defeat doesn't seem to square with Michael Bloomberg, cutthroat capitalist billionaire, but it does make sense when viewed in light of his Bloomberg News empire, which loses money every year. The losses don't seem to bother Bloomberg. Oh, but he sold off a part of that yesterday. They just had to think about that. Straights is Mail, how you doing? I see you. And Lurking Gopher, I see you too. And Duck Dog, what's up? When you come here, I suggest getting good ice cream. Shane's Survivor. Where is here? Is that, you're in the East Coast? I can't remember. Hello, Jaeger Pony. How you doing? Hi, Tales of Gore. Oh, Monkey's sending people over. Okay, I gotcha. Cool. That's great. So the losses don't seem to bother Bloomberg because in this aspect of business, he's the man who wants his ideas in the world and is willing to pay to make it happen. Yeah, I mean, if you've paid attention to all the Bloomberg editorials popping up that are anti-Trump. So why declare? Simply put, the billionaire mayor gets a lot more for his money as a candidate than he ever could as a donor or even as the operator of a super PAC. First, there are limits to what a donor can give to a campaign, and $2 billion is way out of the question. Hello, Kingslayer Damocles. I'm sorry. Even so, Bloomberg could pour billions into an organization to sway elections, as Charles Koch and George Soros seek to do. Then there's something campaigns have that no PAC has, and that's access to the best rates the market has to offer. Yeah, he can. Oh, thank you, Maine. That's right. For those of you who don't have any idea what I just said, when we go to Maine, we're gonna go check Shane's Survivor ice cream. Here's the thing: if he's a candidate, he can spend all he wants. He can do his own commercials. He can badmouth the president all he wants, and he's doing it as a candidate. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter who he. There's no limits. There's no limits because he can spend it on himself, but you can't spend it on another candidate legally. So he's basically, I don't think he gives a rat's butt about being president, but he can talk all he wants and put himself on TV. So it's all just a whole pile of bullshit. Oh, I see a whole bunch of people coming over. Good morning. Everyone's coming over from Monkey Show. Good, thank you. Good morning, Mad Max, Renovaccio, Mike Downey, Mr. Dax, Mike Savage, you were already here. Mike Savage, Stargazer Knights, Jeanette E. Hellis, how you doing? Welcome, everybody. I appreciate, and yeah, if any of you go back, I don't know if Monkey's still on, but if you do, tell him I said hi back. Thank you for hopping over. Ginger Snap, oh, they're all rolling in. Good morning. All right, so anyway, Bloomberg's going to spend his ass off. What the hell was that? Bloomberg's going to spend his ass off, and the guise of actually running for president, and he can spend as much as he wants to badmouth the president. But you know what? Let's just let me give you a little reminder of the type of ads that Mike Bloomberg seems to want to run. Just a reminder here. Just a reminder. Hang on. Let me pause this. How do you pause this?
Thank you.
Pause. Damn it. Stop. Anyway, here it is. Remember.
Where's my ice cream?
Big gay ice cream.
Big gay ice cream is the best.
Salty Pimp. Salty Pimp is one of their flavors. Salty freaking Pimp. What the hell happened there? Holy smokes. All right, anyway. Hi, I would like a bowl of Salty Pimp. All right, anyway. Oh, what the hell did I do? Gosh, this is just, everything's going to crap. All right. All right, let's see. What else is happening? Oh, we were going to talk about impeachment. I haven't even gotten to that. I haven't said anything. So apparently, Mitch McConnell is doing his job as the Republican leader Mitch McConnell checkmates Schiff, confident the GOP has the votes to end the trial Friday with no more witnesses. Now that's going to piss off a whole lot of people. Oh, Mr. Dax, yes, Big Gay Ice Cream is an actual company that sells ice cream, and they have a flavor called Salty Pimp. Salty Pimp. I don't care what you say about me. They'll never get $1 out of me. But it's something MC. Cause I'm motherfucking PIMP. Yes, Salty Pimp. I don't know this. I can't remember the song. That's an old 50 Cent song. I can't remember the name. I can't remember how it goes. Mitch McConnell has the votes to end trial Friday with no more witnesses. Mitch McConnell is growing increasingly confident the GOP has the votes to end this impeachment trial without calling any more witnesses. Look, if they call witnesses, this thing could drag on forever because Trump can over executive privilege. They need editors, and we know what the final vote will be anyway, when the Senate does vote. So Mitch wants it done as soon as he can, and he's got good news from one of the key swing GOP senators, Colorado Senator Cory Gardner, who just said he does not need to see any more witnesses. I don't believe we need to hear from the 18th witness, Gardner told Colorado Politics. I have approached every aspect of this grave constitutional duty with the respect and attention required by law, and I have reached this decision after carefully weighing the House managers and the defense arguments and closely reviewing the evidence from the House, which included well over 100 hours of testimony from 17 witnesses. From the Daily Wire, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is increasingly confident that the GOP will have enough votes to block Democrats from bringing witnesses to the floor in President Donald Trump's impeachment trial by Friday, despite efforts on the part of the moderate Republican senators, including Senator Mitt Romney, Utah, to whip votes in support of calling former National Security Advisor John Bolton to the witness stand. The Wall Street Journal reported Tuesday night that McConnell is desperately whipping his caucus. That McConnell is desperately whipping his caucus. Looking for the votes needed to block efforts at forcing witness testimony, adding that McConnell's vote count wasn't where it needed to be. A White House source told the Journal, though, that McConnell and administration allies in the Senate Republican leadership were still in the game. Yes, they were. He's desperately whipping his caucus. There is a joke in there somewhere. I know there is. Anyway, so the Democrats' case for witnesses seems to be crumbling fast. For Democrats, the case for calling new witnesses at the Senate impeachment trial seems to be deflating like a bad souffle. That's the news focus now, and even the New York Times and Reuters are reporting that the Democrats' quest for witnesses is falling apart. Here's the Times quote. Republican leaders signaled they were regaining confidence that they would be able to block new witnesses and documents and bring the trial to an acquittal verdict as soon as Friday. Senator Chuck Schumer, smarmy prick Democrat from New York, those are my words, not theirs, and the minority leader acknowledged that winning enough Republican votes was unlikely. And per Reuters, a Democratic push to force Republicans to accept witnesses at President Donald Trump's impeachment trial in the U.S. Senate appeared to be flagging on Wednesday, raising the possibility he could be acquitted as early as Friday. And Democratic Senator Chris Coons was asked during a break if the Democrats' fight for witnesses was lost. I don't know that for sure one way or another, he said, but called the tone of the questions of senators not encouraging. And I was listening to the questions that the different senators were asking, and it was interesting because I think, was it Lisa Murkowski from Alaska? Senator Lisa Murkowski from Alaska was asked some question, and the House manager gave a really kind of snide, off-putting answer to the question, and you couldn't see the faces, but you could just almost, you could hear the disdain that she was showing for the senators, and it had to be just a complete turnoff. As much as as much as a turnoff as Senator Mitch McConnell, desperately whipping his caucus. God, I can't. According to Senator Mike Brown, several Democrats are squirming over whether to acquit President Trump. Now, here's the thing. It's not just the Republicans. There are also Democrats who have to kind of sit on the fence as that goes. Senator Mike Brown, a Republican in Indiana, told Breitbart News during a press conference on Wednesday that several Democrats are squirming over whether to vote to acquit President Donald Trump during the Senate impeachment trial. That would make it a bipartisan vote now, wouldn't it? Brown held a press conference to discuss the latest developments surrounding the impeachment trial against Trump. Senate Democrats have been calling for other witnesses, especially former National Security Advisor John Bolton, to testify after leaks from Bolton's book suggested that Trump had tied foreign security assistance for Ukraine to an investigation into former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter. Again, I am going to say this. The excerpt from the book that leaked had very precise language that I don't know why more people aren't talking about the language that was in there, because it didn't say conditioned on. The words they used were, or that Bolton used, and the only sentence that they drew this conclusion from, where it said the president would have preferred to have the investigations start before releasing the aid. Now, preferred is one of those weasel words, okay? And also, but not only a weasel word, and it's not, and I'm not saying that John Bolton is being a weasel by using that word, but in subsequent interviews when Bolton said that it was a very cordial conversation, which the president brought up in Twitter or something, it really didn't. Thank you, Jay Wolf. How you doing? Thank you. I'm glad. Thank you, Monkey, for sending people over. Now it's a raid now. Midnight Exiles here. Good morning. The word preferred is not the same as demanded or required, or even it's not even saying that he said it to Zelensky. Okay? That means he said it to Bolton. Well, preferred doesn't mean anything. Well, you know what? I would have preferred to have gotten a blowjob this morning before the show. But I certainly didn't demand one. Why did I go there? Maybe it was something about the whipping of the caucus. I don't know. But, so, preferred, so what? Okay? So what? I'm just saying. Anyway. So Brown contended that Schumer wants to force Senate Republicans up for re-election to make difficult votes that might harm their campaigns or help Senate Democrats' electoral chances. The Indiana Republican said, Well, their motive is clear. The 6 Senate toss-up seats are very competitive Senate seats here in November of 2020. I found out how absolutely political everything that is being done here is when I ran, and especially in the general election. That's when all the outside money gets dumped in, and they, Democrats, don't like Citizens Uniteds, but outspend Republicans by a large factor. Some of the hypocrisy in this place. So Chuck Schumer's playing. He knows that there's going to be an acquittal. I tell any senator that's on the fence, if you've got more information, even if you take what they're talking about with Bolton, are you going to vote to convict? Most haven't even thought that through, and probably not. And then it's delaying it. If you feel like I do that it has such an ill-founded foundation to get here, I think it's not difficult of it's not that difficult of a decision. Yeah. So say Bolton testifies. Say Bolton testifies. Do you think that they're still going to get 20 votes to convict, to remove the president from office? It's a political game. It's a game. Becca, how you doing? And good morning, Check Your Logic, RVA, Jay Wolf. I said hi to Sheograth already, but I'll say hi twice, Sheograth. How you doing? So anyway, now, the other problem is the Democrats in, say, reddish or red districts or places that might cause problems if they vote to remove the president also have something to consider. A political report suggests that Senators Joe Manchin, Doug Jones, and Kyrsten Sinema, who asked some interesting questions too yesterday, may vote for acquittal. Okay, this is some editing problems. I'm going to read this sentence how they wrote it because I love to point out editing issues with some of these online outlets. I'm going to read it verbatim, and you can figure out what it means. A political report suggests that Senator Joe Manchin, Doug Jones, and Kyrsten Sinema may vote for acquit Trump during the impeachment trial. I think they meant vote for the acquittal of Trump or vote to acquit Trump, I'm pretty sure. Manchin has also said he believes that Hunter Biden is a relevant witness for the impeachment trial, which we already saw that the other day. So anyway, you may get a bipartisan vote to acquit. Now, it just depends. If they do the witnesses thing, then this thing's going to go on forever. And they've made it pretty clear that they are going to. So anyway, let's see, just anything else? Oh, yeah, and then finally, a little bit about John Bolton here. Apparently, Mark Levin found a video of John Bolton saying Trump's Ukraine call was warm and cordial. Mark Levin just found a skeleton in John Bolton's very bony closet. Oh, gosh. We're talking about furiously whipping your caucus, and now we've got John Bolton's very bony closet. Oh, my God. What is going on here? And publicly exposed it and all but cleared Trump of all of these bogus charges in the process. Levin tweeted out, "I'm linking to this now rather than waiting for my radio show this evening, even though I know the backbenchers will gobble it up and claim they're breaking news with their exclusive reports. So be it. It needs to get out there to the broad audience," he continued. This is an interview with John Bolton describing the president's conversation with the president of Ukraine as warm and cordial in 2019. Here's the interview. I think Trump tweeted this out with the words "game over," but anyway, here it is.
A follow-up to my visit last year on Independence Day, where I was really honored to have a chance to participate in that, and now with the new government in Ukraine to see what might be possible going forward on a whole variety of fronts.
Do you plan to meet President Zelensky, and what messages did you bring to him?
Well, I will be meeting President Zelensky. He and President Trump have already spoken twice. President called to congratulate President Zelensky on his election and then on his success in the parliamentary election. They were very warm and cordial calls. We're hoping that they'll be able to meet in Warsaw and have a few minutes together because the success of Ukraine, maintaining its freedom, its system of representative government, a free market economy free of corruption, and dealing with the problems of the Donbass and the Crimea are high priorities here, obviously, but high priorities for the United States as well.
All right, so, now it's interesting because he did use the word cordial and didn't seem to be complaining about it. But again, I think he was probably still representing the administration at the time. So, I mean, the video is not necessarily the be-all, end-all, but it does certainly contradict some shit he was saying, or no. And again, I not even saying shit he was saying in his book, because nobody really knows what's in his book. And what's fascinating, again, about that word that he uses, that Trump preferred, not demanded, is that just a little cheap ploy to get the book a little more attention? Granted, it's going to get a lot of attention when it's published. Now the NSC said there's quite a bit of classified information, including some top secret information that's in the book that's going to have to be removed before he can publish it. So apparently they're going to have to do a considerable amount of editing before they put that book out. But it's just fascinating that that happened. And let's see, there's another one. And then in 2010, apparently John Bolton confessed that he would absolutely lie about national security matters. This is not good. Unfortunately, it kind of turns into a smearing of John Bolton. But hey, I don't know if that's a good idea. But he's okay. Remember, I said the other day, all the countries in the world are a hammer, and John Bolton thinks that America is the hammer. Did I say hammer? Nail? The rest of the world's a nail, and John Bolton thinks we're the hammer. Anyway, in a 2010 Fox interview, John Bolton confessed he would absolutely lie about national security matters. In an interview with Andrew Napolitano on Fox Business Channel, former White House National Security Advisor John Bolton stated that he would have no problem lying to the public if he thought it was necessary to protect national security. Oh, kind of like a taquilla thing, right? Bolton, who has written a book for Simon & Schuster based on his time working on national security policy for President Trump that is scheduled to be released in March 2020, also said during the 2010 interview that government secrecy and protection of classified material was necessary to protect the public. Oh, well, that's why he had to have his book reviewed by the National Security Council, and they have some issues with some of the information that they believe is classified and top secret. All right, I think that's enough of a soundbite. Maybe here it is. Oh, this is 5. We're not going to watch this for 5 minutes. Forget that. I don't have time. But yeah, here's the quotes. Bolton was specifically invited on to discuss sensitive U.S. diplomatic cables and documents that had been obtained and released at the time by WikiLeaks, an act in which Bolton characterized as an attack on the United States. Is it an attack on the United States for us to know that our ally Saudi Arabia is actually financing Al-Qaeda? Napolitano asked. Isn't that something we should want to know? Bolton, I want to make the case for secrecy in government when it comes to the conduct of national security affairs, and possibly for deception where it's appropriate, Bolton responded. He then approvingly quoted Winston Churchill's assertion that truth is so important that it should be surrounded by a bodyguard of lies. Do you really believe that? Napolitano responded. You would lie in order to preserve the truth? Absolutely, Bolton said. If I had to say anything I knew was false to protect American national security, I would do it. Why do people in the government think that the rules of civil society or the laws don't apply to them? Napolitano countered. Because they're not dealing in the civil society we live in under the Constitution, Bolton said. They are dealing with an anarchic environment internationally where different rules apply. But you took an oath to uphold the Constitution, and the Constitution maintains certain openness and certain fairness, Napolitano countered. You're willing to do away with that in order to achieve a temporary military goal? The Constitution is not a suicide pact, Bolton responded, quoting former Supreme Court Justice Robert Jackson. So that doesn't that doesn't help him and his case. And, you know, I don't know. I still, the word I'm hung up on is preferred. The New York Times excerpt. Preferred, not demanded, not conditioned, preferred. Well, I would have preferred to have ice cream and cookies for dinner. But I ate a steak instead. I did the right thing. I ate a steak and some steamed asparagus and a salad. I would have preferred to have ice cream and cookies. I would have preferred a big gulp of Coke. But I drank milk. Preferred. Give me a break. All right, let's finish up the day with some Twitter trends. By the way, thank you, Chi-Town J, Green Thunder Demighty, and Becca Farley for adding to the list of people who are tweeting out the show. I appreciate it. Hit the share button. Share this out with your friends. Even if you're watching in the aftermath, the recorded version of the Morning Night Live, you can still share this. Share it out. Hit the like button. And you can still do donations through the Streamlabs link in the description down below. Or if you're here live, it's somewhere there in the chat. You can figure it out. Thank you again, Doug McCockiner, for that $5.56. Here's what Doug McCockiner did. I'll just repeat it. Oh, yeah. Oh, stop. It's over. Anyway, all right. Let's get into Twitter trends and let's get the hell out of Dodge. First, let's check out the Explore tab and see what's on the top. Yes. It started with Mayor Mike Bloomberg, but they changed it. Now, this is weird. This guy's, I don't get it. And, of course, I don't know if this is an accurate quote, but good morning, Patrice Ripley. Hi, sorry about all the punctuation spam. The kids I nanny for messed up my keyboard. Oh, okay. I didn't see it. Coronavirus will help to accelerate the return of jobs to North America, Commerce Secretary William Ross says. And that's, okay, I don't know what that means. In a Fox interview, the Commerce Secretary said the spread of the deadly virus will help return jobs to the U.S. and Mexico. More than 7,700 cases of coronavirus. Okay, this is just more than 7,700 cases of coronavirus have been confirmed in mainland China, and at least 170 people have died from the virus. Elsewhere, more than 100 people have been affected in 20 countries or territories across North America, Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. I don't know what Wilbur Ross was talking about. He's gonna he's gonna trend all day for that one. I'm just saying, I got a feeling, that Wilbur Ross is a moron, that Wilbur Ross can be a moron, or he doesn't know what he's talking about. I got a feeling. Enough. Back to Twitter trends. Let's go. And starting out in the Twitter trends today, number one is Thursday Thoughts, as opposed to Thursday Thoughts. But let's see what's trending on the Thursday. Let's see, what kind of Thursday Thoughts? Now, Liberty Nation always ends up at the top of my day thing for some reason. And I realized Liberty Nation is not just the gun girl. There are some other writers. In fact, one writer that I know, it's mostly libertarian people. So like Jeff the Conservatarian, he's a guy who also writes for Red State, is part of Liberty Nation. I don't know. Anyway, Liberty Nation says the UK survived before the implementation of the EU, and it will thrive after it has tipped its bowler derby and politely uttered cheerio to the trade bloc, according to Andrew at Andrew Liberty 23. Yes, I think the UK will survive. I'm sorry. If anything, we might just do a little more trade with the U.S. Who knows? But there's the Thursday Thought from Liberty Nation. Also, today the Ocean says humpback whale and IG underwater. I don't know what IG. Anyway, this is a little Thursday thought. What the hell is that? Okay, okay. So the thing underneath this gave me pause because I thought, am I going to have to censor this? But this seems to be the blood makes you related, loyalty makes you family. Okay, that is an animal with a weird nose. Okay, I forgot I didn't have the whale completely on there. So. Goodness gracious. What the hell is that? All right. And let's see if we can find a good Thursday thought to finish out the Thursday thoughts. Let's see. The most important thing. Can you see that? Yes, you can. The most important thing in life. Oh, I want to hear the music. No, TikTok. Stop it, TikTok. The most important thing in life. Okay. Work. What the hell? All right, we'll just have to go back. It's sometimes the TikTok things don't always work. Let's try this again. Okay. The most important thing in life is always be yourself, be unique, be you, be yourself. Okay. So apparently the dog seems to have a form of dog cerebral palsy or something. And so anyway, yep, be you. I don't know what's going on here. Let's move on. Number 2, SFF Pit. Now this has got to be some kind of promotion or something. It reeks of promotion. My fairy godmother. Oh, it's isn't that when they do the the pitches, the book pitches? Here's a book pitch. A fairy godmother goes rogue to hunt down the serial killer who slaughtered her first charge. But when the SOB targets someone close to her, Gwen learns there is more to life than vengeance. Fairy god murder. Dresden Files X. Jessica Jones with a pinch of fairy dust. Okay. Oh, science fiction. Is it science fiction something? I don't know. Here's another one. Here's another pitch. A book pitch. A telepathic small-town baker makes a wish for Prince Charming, but gets the human-hating prince of the underworld in return. A mystery unfolds, and he's a prime suspect. But she sees a different side of him. Suddenly, he's gone. Only a sacrifice will bring him back. Interesting. Let's do one more. This must have to do something with what is SFF? I don't know what that stands for. Anyone know what this stands for? All right, last one. Coraline times the girl who drank the moon. 11-year-old Charlotte follows clues to her sister's disappearance into another world where she must take part in a secret rebellion and overthrow the world's despot to save her sister's life. Okay, moving on. That's trending number 2. Number 3, Ciara. That's Russell Wilson's wife. Congratulations are in order for Ciara and Russell Wilson. Why? What'd they do? Are they pregnant or what? She's okay. Oh, she's pregnant with number 3 or okay, I don't know. Okay, Ciara. Oh, number 3. She's pregnant again. She's doing this is a weird picture of her pregnant on some rocky thing here but good for them. Congratulations, Russell Wilson and Ciara. He's the quarterback from the Seattle Seahawks, and she's a musical artist and a very fine young woman. All right, Dershowitz Logic hashtag is trending number 4. Because people think, okay, so in essence, Dershowitz is saying you can commit a crime if it's in the public interest. The president hasn't committed a crime, but just saying. Dershowitz logic, ignorance of the law is no excuse for breaking the law. Ignorance of the law is not a valid defense. Ignorantia juris non accusat. All right. Straight out of Marianne Trump's mouth. His first wife. Yes, he's an idiot with zero common sense, with no social skills. Oh, and his mother. But he is my son. I just hope he never goes into politics. He'd be a disaster. I don't know if that's an actual quote. People are dragging Dershowitz because his argument yesterday probably confused the hell out of some of them. opinion. Oh, of course, the Washington Post opinion, because the Washington Post is always so supportive of President Trump. Republicans damaging new line of defense. The conclusion that the president did nothing wrong would inflict grave damage on our democracy. Okay. They're comparing him to Hitler. Abuse of power is a political weapon and it should be leveled against political opponents. Okay, if you decide it's political abuse of power, whatever. Again, this whole impeachment thing is clearly a Rorschach test. Moving on, Wilbur Ross, that's the Commerce Secretary who said something stupid. I got a feeling, that Wilbur Ross is a moron. Trending number 6, Thursday Motivation, we're going to skip. Gene Hackman is trending number 7. Oh, it's his 90th birthday. Holy shit, Gene Hackman is 90 years old? Happy 90th birthday. Eugene Allen Hackman, born January 30th, 1930, is a retired American actor and novelist in a career that spanned more than 6 decades. Great actor, been in a lot of great movies. This is for him from Hoosier. What? Not Hickory Huskers. Oh, yeah, he was he played the coach at Hoosiers. Of course, the requisite Denzel Washington, not worrying that Gene Hackman died. That's whenever any older actor trends, you get the Denzel Washington GIF, whatever you want to call it. Had quite an acting career. Moving on. F-35 is trending. Pentagon finds flaws in the new F-35 amid increasing orders. Report, the U.S. Defense Department is discovering new problems associated with Lockheed Martin's F-35 fighter jet. That's not good news. I don't need to go farther than that. Hummer. Uh-oh, they're coming out with an electric Hummer. Oh my God. The jokes today just write themselves. All electric Hummer converted by GM will compete with the Fleshlight. I mean, anyway, no, the all electric Hummer conferred by GM will go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. So it is a very fast Hummer, all electric. Let's see if they have any pictures in the trend here. Oh, that's just the front of it. The Hummer is making a comeback, only this time it won't guzzle gas. General Motors announced that it will start selling a battery-powered Hummer pickup truck in September of 2021. I hope it looks better than the one that truck that Elon Musk came up with. I'm sorry, it's anything. Although you know what? Now that new electric pickup truck that Elon Musk put out by Tesla, it's interesting. It kind of looks like a vehicle that you'd find in Minecraft, perhaps, or in a 1990s video game, because it's really retro. But all right, excited for the new Hummer to come out. I'm always excited for a Hummer. Keyless is some pop chick trending. I don't care. Verdugo baseball, don't care. Tile, K-pop, I don't care. Payback is trending. Interesting. Honestly, this is literally why most of Trump supporters follow him. They don't really know any significant policies from his administration. They mainly just want payback. They're in it for the shit show. Okay, so this is some bullshit. Joe Walsh, if you know who Joe Walsh is, he's that guy who yelled at Obama in the middle of some address to Congress when he said, "You lie." Remember him? Well, he's running for the Republican nomination for president. He's a virulent never Trumper and decided he's going to try to get the nomination away from Trump. Hello, Mike Downey, by the way. And yes, it does look like a Halo 1 Warthog too. That Elon Musk's Tesla pickup truck. Anyway, so Joe Walsh tweeted this out today, and now this is a true story. I'm guaranteed this is a true story. It's a great story. An Iowa voter today actually told me that he knows Trump's lies all the time. He knows Trump is corrupt as hell, and he knows Trump thinks he's above the law, but he doesn't care. Trump is his payback. He asked why I'm against Trump. Because I cannot support a king, I told him. Shut the hell. Joe Walsh, whatever. Joe Walsh is a moron. Of course, grifter's going to grift. Someone says, Joe Walsh, on November 8th, I'm voting for Trump. On November 9th, if Trump loses, I'm grabbing my musket. You in? That was from, what's the date on that tweet? Oh, well, it didn't last well. Anyway, so payback is trending because of that. But the great thing about payback trending is we get our first Twitter trend thought, aka hashtag ho. Let me make sure it's safe for work. It is our Twitter thought of the day. Our hashtag ho of the day is Allison. Yay! Wait a minute. There we go. Allison says, I moan very much during sex. If this does not scare you, call me. Yes, thank you, Allison. The Twitter trend thought of the day, hashtag ho, putting all the top hashtags in her tweet so that she would end up nearly on top. And I'm sure that Allison loves to be on top while she's moaning. Thank you, Allison, for the Twitter first being the... Oh, another one. I just went away from it. Okay, she went away. Good. That one, she went away. All right, cool. Next, okay, moving on. Mississippi Burning is trending. Oh, because Gene Hackman was in the movie Mississippi Burning. One of his more, he had a lot of roles. Born on this day, January 30th, 1930, screen legend Gene Hackman from The French Connection, The Conversation, Superman 1978, where he played Lex Luthor, Mississippi Burning, The Firm, the John Grisham book, The Royal Tenenbaums. He's been on a ton of movies. Get Shorty, Hoosiers, he played the coach. A fantastic actor. And there we go. Oh, but some people say, oh, this guy, I despise Mississippi Burning for making the FBI into the heroes of the civil rights movement. Although I agree that Hackman is good and the movie works, but it sells a bullshit storyline. The story of Meridian is the three heroes, Goodman, Scherner, and Cheney. You know what? Yeah, I don't disagree with that. It should have been more about the activists of the time, but you know, it is what it is. Interesting. All right. So that's why Mississippi Burning is trending. Tony Kanan, if you're into Indy cars, is trending. Let's see. Tony Kanan's schedule with AJ Foyt confirmed. Okay, so apparently he's going to be racing with AJ Foyt's team. If you're not familiar with AJ Foyt was the man back in the day. He did both Indy cars and stock cars, and he was that racer everyone loved to hate because he won a lot, and it was kind of cool. Hi, Kessler. How you doing? All right, let's finish up. French Connection, that's because Gene Hackman. Oh, that's right, he was in the French Connection, too. That was like one of his biggest movies. Congrats, Ice. Why is Congrats, Ice trending? Congrats, Ice. Didn't think we'd get this much this year, but yes, sir. Congrats, Ice. Congrats, Ice. Oh, somebody named Ice. Oh, had their baby was born. Okay. Apparently, Ice is a celebrity, and okay, so that's why everyone's congratulating Ice. 1 year with scenery. That's K-pop. Stand by Singri. That's K-pop. Skip. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's got to be it for today. I can't do any more K-pop. I'm sorry. Sorry, Patrice. I will click on one of those K-pop links one of these days and actually watch the video. And I do appreciate you setting them. I'm talking to Patrice Ripley because she's my resident K-pop fan. Or resident K-pop aficionado. Not necessarily a fan, but she has kids who are K-pop fans. So, thanks y'all for being here. I greatly appreciate you joining me on the Morning Night Live today. If you haven't already done so, if you're here new, if you popped over for a monkey stream, whatever, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe and ring the bell, you know, that little bell that pops up, and then also share the stream. Please share the stream. If you're new here, especially, make sure you... Oh, I didn't check my hashtag. No, I did not. Okay, we'll do it quick because the problem is now I'm running out of time. Checking the hashtag real quick. Okay, I only have one new one on here. LOL, the world's gonna flip. Oh no. Oh, okay, now. Oh, thank you, Alec Detbring, just subscribe. Thank you for being a part of the show. Hey, for joining today, Alan Detmering. You'll have to tell me how to say that properly. Okay, so I'm gonna finish up with this because okay, you're gonna have to help me out, chat, because I can't remember the name of the dude that they caught in Los Angeles that was the dead black people overdosing in his apartment, and he's a huge Democratic donor. And apparently, Adam Schiff knows the guy pretty closely because he's donated to Adam Schiff. And then this picture shows up on my hashtag. Oh, I forgot about Jussie Smollett. We'll talk about Jussie Smollett tomorrow. This guy, if you recognize this, that would be Representative Adam Schiff. Now, it's innuendo, but I find humor in it. That's Adam Schiff when Adam Schiff still had all his hair. Ed Buck, thank you. Ed Buck with the dead black young men dying in his apartment. That kid is not Smollett. No way. Wait a minute. That is not... What? Who gave me that? Who sent me this? Who sent me this? Okay. Oh, there's a whole bunch of... Thank you, Pincalo. Also, number of confirmed coronavirus cases worldwide surpasses 6,000. The death toll rises to 132. Yeah, then there's a map. Okay. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier. Also, the official statement for the Minnesota Vikings. If you didn't hear this, we talked about it yesterday when the original announcement was made that Chris Dolman's family, Chris Dolman, the NFL All-Pro lineman, passed away yesterday from a form of brain cancer. Same form of brain cancer that John McCain had and Bo Biden had. If you didn't know, I work with his brother. He and I coach high school basketball together. So it was a pretty sad day for us at the high school. So anyway, interesting way to finish up the show. I got to go though. Y'all, thank you again. Also new subscriber, Jay Wolf. I appreciate you subscribing. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, ring that bell, and future reference, super chats in the description down below at PDawgNight.live. That's the website for my super chats and just upcoming events. Tomorrow on the show, as I mentioned earlier, I'll put it out in a tweet today, but tomorrow is kind of like an open mic Friday. If you have a microphone and you'll be at a computer, I will take live questions and bring you on the show. I'll give you put the link in the chat, and we'll just queue up in my thing, and I'll bring in people one at a time who want to ask questions or want to maybe talk about something that you want to talk about as far as the news goes, and we'll just have a chat, and we'll take it kind of like, it'd be just like a call-in show, but you get to do it live. You don't necessarily have to have a camera, but you do have to have a microphone and headphones. So tomorrow, open mic Friday, and we'll be ready for that. Other than that, thank you all for being here. I definitely have to go now. I'm running late. So, reminder, my name is PDawg Knight. And I'm out of here. Have a fantastic day. Bye now. Hey, this is PDawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here.